They do not stay. They slip through the seams of sleep, through the stitch of skin and the needle of noise. They fall out of time like stars losing orbit, burning silently into the void. See the cot, still as a sealed vault. See the mobile still spinning, a carousel for ghosts, a lullaby trapped in amber. The silence is not silence, it is pressure, the kind before lightning breaks. See the mother rocking absence in a chair that counts seconds with every creak. She hums, a song for no one, each note a thread in the shroud she's weaving. See the father digging into frost-hardened soil just to feel the resistance, to bury something since he could not bury the ache. They do not stay, not the child whose heart flickered like a candle, then vanished into the breathless dark. Not the girl who slipped into silence like dusk swallowing the day. Not the boy found swinging between ceiling beams and sky, as if caught in some unspeakable prayer. Not the soldier who brought the battlefield home in his eyes, then stepped into the stillness like it was the only thing left that would hold him. They do not stay. They fade from photographs like smoke from blown-out candles. They drift in voicemail messages like snow that will not melt. They murmur from behind doors ajar, from behind your own breath, from corners you've stopped turning toward. You can feel them in the shift of air. Their absence pulls like undertow. Their name becomes a chime that tolls inside your chest. See the hospital halls, bright but without warmth. Walls lined with quiet goodbyes, the kind never spoken aloud. See the birthday cake left untouched, each year smaller than the last, until even the candles refuse to burn. The grief is not gentle, it grinds, it lingers, it wraps around everything bright like a frost that does not melt. It does not ask, it enters, it waits, it stares back through your own reflection. They do not stay, but they do not leave. They haunt. They echo in every room you almost forget them. A pair of shoes, a book, a drawing curled at the edge like the last page of a story interrupted. They are the shadow under every closed door. They are the mirror you avoid in certain light. Say their names. Say them as litany. Say them as defiance. Say them because forgetting is betrayal you could never bear. They do not stay. They are the silence between your heartbeats. They are the space between stars. They are the breath you hold without knowing why. They are the ache with no end. They are the hollow that echoes. They are the pause after the music stops. But still you rise. You open curtains for light they will never see. You wash the dishes they left in the sink. You fold their jumper without crumbling. You speak their name without breaking. And that too is love. That too is memory made flesh. You go on not because you are whole, but because they were, because they mattered, because they are what the silence now protects. And somehow, in all that has been taken, you have become what stays. Behind the lines, I wrote, "You have become what stays," out of the need to honour those absences that never really leave, the kind of loss that doesn't come with answers or closure. It began with the weight of silence after death, how it clings to rooms, to routines, to the living who have no choice but to keep moving through the wreckage. I wasn't thinking about a single kind of death. I was thinking of all the ways people disappear too soon. Children who don't make it home, parents stolen by illness, siblings who step out of the world without warning, soldiers swallowed by wars they never started. This poem is for the ones left behind, for the ones folding jumpers that still smell like someone they can't call anymore, for the ones washing dishes while their breath catches on a name no one says out loud. The world keeps turning, but grief doesn't move that way. It lingers. It shows up in the softest places, the pause before a laugh, the untouched side of the bed, the empty swing on a still day. I wanted to sit with that ache without rushing it, to let the pain speak in its own slow language. There's a kind of darkness that isn't violent or loud, but hollow and constant. That's the grief I was writing from, the kind you live around, the kind you carry like a second spine. And while the poem doesn't offer resolution, it does turn. It remembers that even in deep sorrow, there is a quiet act of survival. The smallest movements, opening curtains, folding clothes, saying a name aloud, become a form of remembering. The title came last, but it holds everything. You have become what stays. It's about the way grief reshapes a person. How when someone is gone, the one who remains, becomes the keeper of memory, of love, of presence. The body that endures, not because they are healed, but because someone has to remember, someone has to hold the light.